Thank you very much, Dracos. Perkz, congratulations. Ending the weekend on a W must feel good.
Feels better than losing, for sure. Yeah.
Now, Perkz, coming into this particular year, they were like, oh, G3 is the new team heretics that wash, they're all whatever, me. That's all I heard. But you're starting to prove them wrong bit by bit. Do you think the growing pains of the first few games have come into, you know, a little bit of easier solutions to them?
I think that we just need some time to adapt to playing together again, right? And we are all still very skilled, in my opinion, and I don't think anyone is washed, on contrary to fans' opinions that, again, are irrelevant, right? So I am very happy to have rejoined with Wunder and Jankos and also with Flakad and Kaiser. And I think we have a really nice team chemistry going on, and the characters fit well together, so I'm grateful for my team, yeah.
I'm glad to see you like this, Perkz, because last interview we had together was not a very happy one. So I'm glad you joining in with the boys is bringing a little bit more of a happy vibe to you. Now, I want to ask you something. You've been a veteran in the scene. You've seen teams succeed. You've been in teams that succeeded. You've been in teams that did not. And I want to ask you the question from your experience. What do you think is going wrong in KC?
It's always hard to say, and it really feels bad to like point it on like one member or someone who appears to be underperforming. There's a lot of things that go wrong in teams that lose. Like, for example, last year in Vitality, we went 1-8, and we were doing like really good in scrims, and we were really successful in scrims. And for example, this split, we've been doing like much worse in scrims than like last year, right? But on stage we play better, and I think that comes a lot to how do people communicate on stage, what kind of drafts you get, what are you comfortable playing with, what are you comfortable playing against, then confidence. Like winning games on stages obviously gives you confidence, which lets you perform better. And I think that when players are down and players are losing, they're just way more likely to not be proactive or be scared of making mistakes, etc. I think, yeah, I mean, maybe it just sucks that their first week went like that, you know, 0-3 kind of can hit hard if you don't come back, yeah.
You think it just tanks the confidence on someone?
For sure, it's for sure possible, right? So it's hard to say exactly what is going wrong, right? I don't have like spy camera on their team.
Now, Perkz, I'm glad you mentioned scrims, because I feel like there have been a huge question mark in general when teams come on stage and they say, we have won all of our scrims, or our scrims are going great, cannot wait for officials, and the officials go wrong. And as you mentioned right now, when you start losing a few more scrims, you start winning a few more officials, I would say. What is the mixture there? What is the magical power of scrims, and how do they work?
Well, scrims, you know, if you win all scrims, you get confidence, right? Which is good, but it obviously matters the most how you perform on stage and what kind of practice do you get from scrims. So yeah, maybe we were drafting too much to win scrims. Like, I don't know, right? Like, maybe now we're drafting too much to lose scrims. It's like always a matter of balance, I think. It's like you cannot strive. I would say from like playing for many years, I think you strive to have around, you know, like 50-60% winner in terms of like scrims if you like.
Well, that's the magic formula.
Because 50, it's like you're like still winning enough to be happy and not be demoralized, and you're still losing enough to like know what works for you, what doesn't work for you, what are you good at, what are you bad at, what you need to improve on, etc. So yeah.
So you win enough to be happy, but not too much to be cocky.
Yeah, I guess in a way, yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, Perkz, I want to ask you in general your opinion as a last quick question about supports. Do you think it's an overrated role, underrated role?
I think supports are like really not balanced right now. And if you're a support main, I hope you're enjoying your free low in solo queue with Bloodsong. And yeah, and also I would like to thank Rob, our assistant coach, performance coach, who is leaving us for wonderful weeks with us and for making us a better team. And yeah, I hope we'll have somebody who will help us grow even more in the future, yeah.
And we hope so too, because you've been doing great so far, Perkz. And thank you. I'm going to keep that note on the support. Thank you very much for the interview. And I'm going to throw it to Laure.